Looking forward to racing on Friday, where we do have the extra race, so we'll look forward to 9 carded races. The first will get underway at 5 to 12, and it is a fillies and mares maiden plate. They will be sprinting over the 1,000-metre trip. My initial selections here: 8, 2 and 1. I'm leading with Rio Supremo to beat the likes of Alloway Grove and Megan. Rio Supremo, she might be an early 3-year-old taking on older here, but she's racing off some really useful maiden Cape form in the juvenile ranks. This will be her first time against older, but I think that type of form will be able to stand the test, and she looks the horse to beat here. Number 2, Alloway Grove, has done nothing wrong in her 2 local starts in the Eastern Cape, where she has run 3rd and 4th respectively. She is best suited to this 1,000-metre dash, and we should see her in the shake-up. Number 1, Megan, she's going to find this a little bit sharp, but I do think it's the type of field that where bar her last year is running in decent form, and as a result she can get a look in here. Race 2 is a maiden plate over 1,200 metres, 1, 5 and 2. I kick off with number 1, Strong Casher, and for good reason. He held fair maiden high felt form with his move to the Eastern Cape, and last time out on debut was doing his best work late. He actually made up a lot of ground. He was way off the pace with 400 to go, and he ended up just under 2 lengths off of Own Your Fate. I do think it's a run he can build on here. The extra furlong will be up his alley, and he should be a strong contender. Number 5, Red Bishop, although he has been placing in most of his recent starts over a little bit further, his penultimate over 1,000 metres saw him run a good 3rd behind Own Your Fate, which is the exact same form line that Strong Casher runs off. So I don't think write him off on that. He is a difficult horse over further, and he does fight a lot with his head, so he could actually enjoy coming back to 1,200, and in fair form is to be respected. Number 2, Cyclops Jack, yet another to come off that Own Your Fate form line. Last time out, I would draw a line entirely through that run behind Clito. He actually had a really bad stumble at the business end of affairs. How he stayed up and how his jockey that day, apprentice Carl Strodham, stayed on, quite remarkable. But his run prior to that had seen him flying late over 1,000 metres to finish 2.5 lengths off Own Your Fate, and as such he can get a look in here. Race 3 is a maiden plate over the 1,400 metre trip. This is for the fillies and mares. First 3 selections here: 1, 5 and 6. Vision on Ice is a newcomer to the Eastern Cape, racing off Western Cape form, and good Western Cape form at that. So she really does stand out head and shoulders here. I'm tipping her to beat number 5, Comedy of Manners, who is a Cape Raid out of the Glen Cotson yard. On paper, Vision of Ice should hold her on the run behind Adderbury Lake, but it's not a done deal. I do think Comedy of Madness, being a young upcoming sort, has got improvement to make, and she can show some cheek. Number 6, LaDonna Mia, is a local runner. She's running in some really good form, and she should be in the thick of things again at the business end. Right up in trip for the 4th maiden plate of the day. They'll be racing over 2,000 metres. It is another race for the fairer sex. My first 3 selections here are 3, 1 and 7. I lead with Red Rules, and I will say, of the type of form she's running to, I think she's bumped the right field to finally exit the maidens. She's been holding form for quite some time now. Over this type of trip, she's held her own on both surfaces against male and female opposition, and she really has been trying hard. So in solid form on turf, which she does seem to just enjoy that little bit more than Polly, I do think she's the horse to beat. Number 1, Serious Fun, didn't shine on her local debut last time out, but I do think we can expect better from her, and she can get into the mix. Number 7 is Giggle and a Talk. She's also from the Smith yard. She'll be trying a bit further this afternoon, and the yard do say to include. So from a neat draw, I've done exactly that. Race 5 is a merit rated 74 handicap. 1,800 metres is the distance they run over, and here I'm going with number 6, Chiron, to take victory. I will say there's a case to be made for many horses in the lineup here, so it's a lot more open than you would originally think. The more you go through it, the more you find things to like about each runner. But Chiron, definitely a good win on local debut last time out. He beat a fair workmanlike sort in the way of Mia Grande. He wasn't raised excessively in the ratings, up only 2 points for the win. So drawn neatly, meeting pretty much the same bunch of same division of horses again. I do think that Chiron's got a chance at following up. Number 7, is in a space, and didn't he run a superb race against so much stronger last time out? It was merit rated 90 company that he took on, and yes, he did carry a lightweight, but he still really can hold his head high with a third, only 0.2 of a length of Master Supreme. A repeat of that is going to make him dangerous here. Number 4, Bush Fever, is where I go for third. You've got a feel for this fellow. Second in both of his latest starts by 0.1 of a length. He really does deserve a win. He probably would prefer a touch further than the 1800 today, which is the only reason I've got him in third. But I do think, as honest as he is, he'll be right there again. The Racing Association Novice Plate, race 6, is next up as we step back to the 1200 metre trip. 1, 4 and 8 are my numbers here, in a very, very open affair. Push Off on that last run, second to Sullenberger, really does catch the eye here. The problem with him is he is a horse that on occasion doesn't leave the gates, and you can never be 100% sure when he's going to do it. I will say that if he does jump, I do think he's the horse to beat. Number 4, Futura's Hope. Fair local debut on the Poly last time out when 6th behind Enrique. He is much more familiar with the turf surface, and back on it here, I think we can expect even better from him, so he should be in the mix. Number 8, Mesmerizing Moon, an under par last race. I say that, she finished 11th, but she actually was under 6 lengths off the winner. For her, still very under par. And if you look back through that previous form, certainly capable of better, so don't be too quick to write her off. Race 7, 1400 metres in a Fillies and Mares 95 event, and it really has attracted a really smart field. Trainer Alan Kreeft does look to have a strong hand with the runners number 1, Bloom, and 3, Step Lively, and they do form part of my selections. I'm going in the other order. Number 3, Step Lively, to take the victory, beating stable companion at number 1, Bloom, and newcomer to the Smith Yard, number 6, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Now, Step Lively, it's no secret, she is a rather temperamental sort, but Charles and Law really does get the best out of her. She's very well suited to course and distance. She's got pole position draw, and she just keeps on raising her game. Unfortunately for her, she was walloped for her great run in the East Cape Paddock Stakes in her last and moved significantly up the ratings. I do think she should still be able to cope with it, and I think we'll see a lot of her here. I do give her a good chance for the win. Her stable companion, number 1, Bloom, top weight here, a 3-time winner from her 7 starts, definitely a useful sort. In her last, she recorded career win number 3 when winning against Similar and over 1300 on the Poly. It does appear that she's a little bit better on Poly, but in limited starts on turf, she's had only the 1. Don't be too quick to judge her, and I do think that she will give another good account of herself. As mentioned, number 6, Gimme, 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 first start for the Smith Yard, racing off form in the Western Cape, where she's always about the action at this level. I do think as a result, coming in here with 52.5 kilos, she is to be respected. Race 8 is a merit rated 82 handicap. We stay over the 1400 metre trip. 4, 6 and 3 are my numbers of interest. Enrique won a good race on local debut last time out, when just shading Tarantino on the line. The 1200, should I say, on Poly that day would have been quick for him, and the 14 on turf this afternoon is going to be much more up his alley. So Enrique can really do it all again. Number 6, Storm Commander, didn't quite shine in his last. I do think, though, he had excuses. As you can see, he lost a length out the gates and he over-raced. He ended up moving up really well to a point, but he had fought too hard in the early stages and he had nothing to come to finish 5th behind Blinking. I do think that his prior form points him out to be capable of so much better. Give him the benefit of the doubt. I think we'll see him closer here. Number 3 is Moon Game, and he just keeps on running honest race after honest race. He is at best over track and trip, and he should be right there again at the business end. Last of the day is race 9. We stay over 1400 for A classified stakes for the Fillies and Mares, and I finish up with 2, 3 and 1 as far as numbers go. For me, Lady Defiance really stands out. She was never in her last race. Trickster that day, the horse to beat as far as weights and form was concerned. She was home and hosed on paper. That is how it panned out. But Lady Defiance, she really ran on well. She basically got pushed from start to finish. That's how badly she was battling with pace. And I think up to 14 on turf, we'll see a lot more of her. Number 3, Mistress of Means, and number 1, Alaskan Fate are my second and third choices respectively, and they fall into the same category. They are horses that are generally doing their best work late. They have been there and thereabouts in recent form. They might just find the 1400 a bit sharp, but I do think we'll see them doing their best work late, and as far as finding the frame is concerned, they are definitely competitors. With 9 races on the card, the PA will get underway at 5-1 with race 3, a maiden plate over 1400 meters. And I'll start off with a bang. I'm going to banker number 1, Vision on Ice. I do think that she relocates with really useful Western Cape maiden form, and she should be able to take the cake here. On to race 4, again a banker, and this time in the way of the Tara Lang trained Red Rules. She is running in super consistent form, and it is by no small margin standout in this race. She would be a very deserved winner, and I do think she's got the capability to get it right. Race 5, and I go a lot wider in this merit rated 74 handicap over 1800 meters. All of 4, 5, 6 and 7 will go in. That's Bush Fever, narrowly touched off in recent starts. Royal Shindig, who I do think ran a really smart post maiden last time out and looks to be on the up. Number 6, Chiron, a horse that can follow up on his local debut win, as well as number 7, Inner Space, who took on a lot stronger last time out and ran a great race. All horses that I have included. Race 6, 2 selections for the PA, and they are 1 and 4. Number 1 is Push Off. Always a question, is he going to make his way out the gates? If he does, on that last run behind Sullenberger and merit rated 90 company, he is the horse to beat. A horse like number 4, Futura's Hope, does look well capable of making it into the frame as well, and between those two, I do think we should see them both in the PA. Race 7, 3 selections, 1, 3 and 6 being Bloom and Step Lively, useful stable companions out of the Crefyard, and newcomer to the Smithyard, Gimme Gimme Gimme, horse number 6, all go in. Race 8 also gets the 3 selections, and they are my first 3 numbers. They are Moon Game, Enrique, and Storm Commander. I do think that there are a couple of chances here, but those are definitely headliners for me. Last leg of the PA is race 9. I'm going to close up with the banker in the way of number 2, Lady Defiance, who ran her heart out last time out, just couldn't get into that race early, and I do think on the more gradual turf surface we'll see a lot more of her. Pick 6 will get started in race 4, and I stick here with the PA banker of number 3, and that is Red Rules. In fact, my pick 6 is going to be an all or nothing affair, and I'm going to go in with the 3 bankers and the 3 fields. Race 5 for me, pick 6, field, so I will include all runners there. Moving on to leg 3 of the pick 6 and another banker, that is Push Off. Admittedly, really taking a chance here because there is a chance that he's not going to jump, but I'm really hoping the yard feel that they've got him right, they've done the work on him, it certainly showed last time out, and they think he's spot on for the win here. So going to take a chance there, and banker number 1, Push Off. Field in race 7, which is a fillies and mares 95 handicap. This is a lovely lineup. There's a couple of chances here and a few to respect. I do think the Crefyard have a strong hand, but that's not to say that the others can't upstage them. So field for me in race 7. Field again for the pick 6 in race 8, which is a merit rated 82 handicap over 1400 meters. There's, as mentioned a bit earlier, 9 horses in the field, but there's claims to be made for quite a few, so safer to go field if you've got the advantage of having a few, like for bankers, which I do. I round up with the banker of number 2, Lady Defiance, in the last leg. I do think that on that last run there's a lot to like about her, and she should be able to hold her head high here. The jackpot sees me having to cut back a bit with the bankers falling really for most part on either side of it, so had to make a few changes in the jackpot. And in the first leg of the jackpot, race 5, first leg of the first jackpot, I will go in with the PA numbers of 4, 5, 6 and 7, and I will then add in number 3, Gold Rock, number 8, Mayfern, as well as 10, Mighty Smart, and 12, Lotus King. As far as the Racing Association Novice Plate, where I bank at number 1, Push Off, I add in just 2 more to cover in case he doesn't. Number 4, Futura's Hope, and number 8, Mesmerizing Moon, who I do think is a lot better than that last run suggests. The jackpot also goes a little bit wider in race 7. The PA numbers, definite inclusions, 1, 3, and 6. I will then also add in number 2, Princess Khaleesi, number 4, Kiss of Life, and number 8, Flaming Duchess, who really ran a great race last time out. Actually came from stone last with 400 to go to run second to II. As far as the last leg of the jackpot is concerned, also go a little bit wider here, and the PA numbers here are 3, 4, and 6, and I'll add in number 2, Valatorio, who has his first run in the Eastern Cape of useful high-felt form. Number 7, Sputnik 1, who is at his best on turf, and I really feel looking for this type of trip. And I will also throw in the likes of number 9, Roy's Magic, who in his penultimate over course and distance beat Similar to win a good race. So that's a roundup of the jackpot. Best bet and value bet next up. My best bet is in race 9, number 2, Lady Defiance. You've heard me say that not much went her way in her last. She was always battling for pace, and I do think this is going to see her at her best now on turf over a touch further. My value bet is in race 8. That's number 4, Enrique. I think he won a really cracking race over a trip short of his best on the really tight poly, and he's another who's going to enjoy being back on gradual turf over a little bit further. I think he can follow up. Well, that's a roundup of racing on Friday. Looking forward to the 9 races. I hope you are too.